My name is Suretrika, and I'll be your host this afternoon. On behalf of the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, it is my proud privilege to welcome you all to the respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, dear students, and esteemed participants of this session today, to the first ever episode and the inaugural of Meet the Leader, from participation to representation, youth in policy shaping, organized by the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub in collaboration with the Office of the Dean, Students' Welfare, Manipur University. In this evolving democratic landscape, the role of youth has far moved beyond just mere presentation, just participation, sorry. Now it calls for representation, responsibility, and leadership in decision making and policy shaping that will define the collective future for us. So this session of Meet the Leader, from participation to representation, youth in policy shaping, is a thoughtfully curated platform where young minds, student leaders, academicians, and decision makers come together to engage in meaningful dialogue to discuss on the evolving roles of youth in governance and decision making. So today's program, with today's session, we aim to inspire the young minds such as yourselves to not just participate in dialogues or just contribute in discussions, but be the active stakeholders in deciding, in making the policy processes. With that note, we would formally like to begin today's session. I take this opportunity to extend my warmest welcome to the respected dignitaries who have added immense value to this gathering with their presence today. Firstly, gracing us as the chief guest of today's program is Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. I welcome you, sir, and kindly request you to kindly take the seat on dais. Gracing us as the guest of honor is Mr. Nongpok Nganbe Yambem, President of Manipur University Students' Union. I welcome you and kindly request you to take the seat on dais. Unfortunately, he could not make it today for this inaugural session. And taking the presidential chair for today's program is Professor C.H. Ibohal Singh, Dean of Student Welfare, Manipur University. I welcome you, sir, and request you to kindly take the seat on dais. And lastly, but not the least, as a presidium and a representative of Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, is Mr. N. Nongthombam Bankim Chandra, a prestigious member and alumni of the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, Director of Imphal Valley School. Welcome, and I request you to kindly take the seat on dais. Thank you, sir. To showcase our gratitude and honor, I would like to request the team to kindly felicitate the dignitaries on dais. To do the honors, I would like to request Miss Juicy Beauty Akoizam to come up front. Felicitation of the chief guest, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. Felicitation of the President of today's session, Professor C.H. Ibohal Singh, Dean of Student Welfare, Manipur University. Felicitation of the representative of Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, Nongthombam Bankim Chandra Singh, prestigious member alumni of Global Shapers Community, Director of Imphal Valley School. Thank you, team, and thank you, sir. To set the tone for today's program, it is my honor to invite Ms. Juicy Beauty Akoijam, outgoing curator of the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, to deliver the welcome address. Ms. Juicy has been instrumental in strengthening youth-led initiatives and fostering meaningful community engagement throughout the Global Shapers platform. So I request Ms. Juicy Beauty Akoijam to kindly deliver the address.
Thank you so much. So I hope everyone is seated and ready. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, more like it. So before I start, formally giving my welcome address, I would like to start by asking a question, and this will be for everyone in this room. So the question is, in a state like Manipur, where young people are often at the forefront of movements, protests, be it community actions, how many of the young people do you actually think participate in the policy making, where our future are being decided? So this is a question that I would like to ask to everyone, and this is something that I've been, thinking about it. So we say that India is a very young country, right, with over 65% of the population under the age of 35. And I think this is a huge population given the fact that this is equal to the size of US population, if I'm not wrong. So we are visible on the streets, we are vocal on social media. But when policies are being made, when negotiations happen on the table, the question is, our youth representation becomes very symbolic, it's very rare. Many times young people are called on the table, yes, but just to, tick the box. So this is what we call tokenism. So the real question is not whether how much our youth are passionate. The real question is, are we being heard where it actually matters, where our future is being decided? So, and that is exactly why we are here today. On behalf of the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, an initiative of the World Economic Forum, consisting of young and dynamic people between the age of 18 and 27, I would like to welcome you all to the inaugural session of Meet the Leader series. Before I go further, it is my honor to welcome our respected dignitaries. First of all, Sir Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, Professor C.H. Ibohal Singh, Dean of Students' Welfare, and unfortunately, Mr. Nongpok Nganbo could not make it here. And next, we have Mr. Bankim Chandra, which we dearly call as Da Bankim in our hub because he's an esteemed member and alumni of Global Shapers Imphal Hub. And thank you to Manipur University for giving us this space. The choice of Manipur University is very symbolic. It's not just accidental, because we believe that university is a space where degrees are not just earned, but a space where we start questioning. It is a place where political consciousness grows and where future leaders begin to think critically about society. So starting this dialogue in a university is a reminder that leadership starts with questioning. So as the outgoing curator, this moment matters deeply to me because this series is not just about giving speeches, it is about starting a conversation which we have avoided for too long. So Manipur is going through a very critical phase, as we all know that, politically, socially, not just economically, but emotionally as well. And at a time like this, I want to stress that there is one thing that Manipur has never lacked in aware and courageous, outspoken youth. But what we have lacked is a regular and a trusted space where young people and leaders could sit across tables, not just during crises or during elections, which we see, but during normal times to talk, to question, and to think. So Meet the Leader is our attempt to create that space. The National Youth Policy under Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports talks about the need of institutionalizing a public forum where youth can exchange programs and build leadership and connect youth voices to policy making. So what we are doing today is just a small step towards making that reality a vision. So if we do not create spaces for dialogue now, we risk a generation of being excluded. And if we do not trust young people today, we will struggle to find ethical leaders tomorrow. So this series is not just about creating awareness, but about inculcating confidence. The confidence to speak, the confidence to ask questions. So to all the young people present here, I also see few leaders of many community-led initiative as well. To all the young people in this room, this space belongs to you. Use it well. And to everyone present here, our dignitaries and our respected panelists, this conversation is just a beginning. And with this, I would like to welcome you all to the inaugural session of Meet the Leader. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Juicy, for beautifully framing the spirit of what Meet the Leader is about. The Global Shippers community believes that youth are not just future leaders, but they are the leaders of today. So to share the insightful insights on youth participation, responsibility, and policy engagement, I invite Mr. Nongthomban Bankim Chandra, prestigious member and alumni of Global Shippers Community Imphal Hub, to kindly give the keynote address.
Very good afternoon, respected Chief Guest, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Guest of Honor, Sri Nongpok Ngan Bayum Yambem, President, Manipur University Student Union, President of today's gathering, Professor C.H. Ivol, Dean of Student Welfare, Manipur University, eminent panelists, Dr. Mayangbam Beto Singh, MCS, Director of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of Manipur, Sri Yumnam Rupachandra, Editor-in-Chief, Impact TV, and proud recipient of prestigious Tiam Megachandra Journalist Award, Dr. Longzam Meena Devi, Assistant Professor, Head in Charge, Department of Culture Studies, Manipur University of Culture, Dr. Jibon Kumar Sharma, Professor, Manipur Institute of Management Studies, distinguished faculty, and my dear friends present here today. It is an honor for me to speak on behalf of Global Shippers Community Imphal Hub and to welcome one and all to the first episode of Meet the Leader Dialogue Series. Global Shippers Community is an initiative of the World Economic Forum, founded in the year 2011 by Professor Klaus Schwab, a German engineer and an economist who also founded the World Economic Forum. It was started with just 10 hubs across the globe in 2011 with the simple objective to inspire, empower, and connect young leaders to improve their community. Today, the Global Shippers Community is a global network of young people committed to driving positive change, grounded in simple belief, which is local action supported by global network can create substantial change in our local society. Imphal Hub came to life in the year 2015 as the 450th hub globally and has been active since then, bringing together young people from diverse backgrounds with a shared commitment to Manipur's progress. Over the years, our work has evolved with times, from rebuilding Kabui Kulen in 2016 after the earthquake to Bleed with Pride, which challenged menstrual taboos and was later recognized with the Prime Minister Award for Excellence in Public Administration. Under our project Shaping Environment, we have planted over 3,000 trees in various parts of the state, and another project, I Care, A mental health response during COVID-19 reflected our belief that sustainability and well-being must be addressed at the community level. More recently, amid the ongoing conflict in Manipur, we have launched Multiplying Smiles, setting up mini library across 3 relief camps to support displaced children, an initiative that also won us the World Economic Forum Innovative Grant Challenge. Today, young people are facing economic uncertainty, rapid technological change with the 4th industrial revolution looming over us, and unemployment in our local context and in India. And as India is a young nation and on the path of achieving demographic dividend, it is imperative to engage and inspire youth in policy making and implementation. That is why today's theme, from representation to participation, youth in policy shaping, deeply matters. We are deeply grateful to our distinguished panelists from governance, media, academia, culture, and international engagement. Your presence here today reflects openness to young people and a willingness to listen to the young voices. As a global shaper, I believe the future cannot be designed for young people, rather it must be designed with young people. Meaningful youth engagement dialogue will strengthen institutions, rebuild trust, and create more resilience in our society. I hope that today's dialogue will not end with this session, but spark ongoing collaborations, actionable insights, and renewed trust between generations and institutions. On behalf of Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, I thank you for being part of this dialogue and for believing that youth are not just the leaders of tomorrow, but partners from today. Thank you.
Thank you for the powerful keynote address. Your words have truly motivated us to think beyond participation and take responsibility as future policy shapers. Taking this opportunity, it is my privilege to invite the guest of honor of today's program, Mr. Nongpuk Nganbayambem, President of Manipur University Students' Union on dais. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Nongpuk Nganbayambem. And I request the team to kindly do the felicitation of Mr. Nongpuk Nganbayambem as the guest of honor. Felicitation of Mr. Nongpuk Nganbayambem, President of Manipur University Students' Union. I welcome you and thank you. We now have the honor to listen to the guest of honor for today's program, Mr. Nongpuk Nganbayambem, President of the Manipur University Students' Union. The Students' Union plays a very important role in representing students' voices and strengthening the democratic participation within the university ecosystem. So may I request Mr. Nongpuk Nganbayambem to kindly address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries, faculty members, Global Shapers Imphal Hub members, dear students and friends, I'm truly honored to be present at this Meet the Leaders program organized by Global Shapers Imphal Hub and initiative of the World Economic Forum here at the Department of Commerce, Manipur University. This platform is more than a discussion. It is a bridge between experience and aspiration, leadership and learning. Global Shapers is inspiring young minds to think globally, act locally, and lead responsibly, which is exactly what today's world needs. I encourage our students to use this opportunity to learn questions and connect. Leadership begins with vision, integrity, and the courage to serve society. I congratulate Global Shapers Imphal Hub and the then Students Welfare Manipur University for organizing this meaningful interaction. I wish the program great success. Thank you and best wishes to all.
Thank you, Mr. Nongpo Nganba, for your address. It is now my proud privilege to invite our chief guest, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, for his special address. Professor Lokendra Singh's leadership and vision has been instrumental in guiding the university towards academic excellence and inclusive growth. Sir, we are deeply honored by your presence. May I request you to kindly deliver your address.
Thank you for the kind words. Professor CHC Bohal, Dean Students Welfare, Manipur University. Shri Nongthombam Bankim Chandra, Member, Global Shapers, Imphal Hub. Shri Nopongamba Yambem, President, Manipur University Student Union. Of the dais we have Professor J.P. Prasad, former Vice Chancellor, Tripura University. The Editor-in-Chief of Impact TV, Shri Yumnam Rupachandra. Professor Jivan Kumar Sharma, Professor of Manipur Institute of Management Studies. Dr. Longjam Meena Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Culture Studies, Manipur University of Culture. My learned colleagues from different departments of the university, friends from the media, other members of the Global Shapers Imphal Hub, they are young leaders of the state of Manipur. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely grateful to the office bearers of the Global Shapers Imphal Hub for associating me in this very encouraging and a very, very exciting program. It's so heartening to see all the bright faces, the leaders, and I must say that you are the future of the state of Manipur. I am a great optimist so far as the question of Manipur's prolonged unrest is concerned. I believe that after a long time, the healing process has started. We have seen many such cases of ethnic tensions and ethnic crisis in the state of Manipur, much more serious than this present crisis in terms of the number of casualties, in terms of the property lost. In the past, maybe many of you were in school when in the 1990s when, you know, those very, very serious crises had taken place. But the people of Manipur had developed that, you know, culture of being very resilient. And we are used to this kind of crisis many a time throughout the history. So much so that even a very young kid sometimes you will see them sitting along with the mothers in this numerous sit-in protest which are visible in our TV network. I used to tell my friends inside and outside the state that even the young kids have been internally cultured to somehow have their own idea and understanding of the kind of situation and complexity of the situation that we are in a border state like Manipur. But Manipur survived. Manipur will continue to survive. And we have actually, as far as my understanding goes, has come out of that very, wave of unexplainable situations. Now, more or less, things have become very clear. And all of you who are very, very attentive to what is happening in the state of Manipur, through social media, through local paper, through your participation in various interactive programs, through the TV discussion forums. I mean, all of us are, I think, pretty well informed. Now, why I am interested in this particular gathering is that now we need some new ideas. We have been listening to many of the arguments put forward by a great number of our thinkers, intellectuals, academics, policymakers. We are yet to listen how our emerging, aspiring, aspirational group who have been exposed to the entire global scenario, who are, looking forward to a very bright future, how they are trying to understand this very complex scenario. We are interested to know. Many of you may not have the kind of opportunity to express your opinions. Many of you might be having many, unexplained, some kind of a tension within yourself. Many of you may not agree of what we have been talking in social media, in local paper, because local paper also, of course, I used to subscribe 4 or 5 papers at my place. In a way, there is not much difference in content in what we can see in the different papers. So therefore, it's a very good opportunity for all of you to, understand others' mind, at the same time to express your own mind. So that let us see what comes out of this kind of an interaction. But as a senior person, I'm already 70 years old. What I would like to appeal to you is that we have come at a stage when we must go for very authentic source of information. We must not allow ourselves to be carried away by, nice presentations, flowery language, and so on and so forth. Whatever information that we get, whatever argument that we give, we must try to be honest to ourselves, and we must try to give as authentic as possible based on your own formulations, based on your source of information, based on the arguments that you have somehow come across with your teachers or with your colleagues, with your mentors, your family. But you must come out very authentically, because I think what we need at this time is that too much of fabrications, and narratives which are not based on actually real sources for quite some time have, created some kind of a ecosystem in which informations and arguments are very, well neatly spin, and that created a lot of problem. This is one thing that I wanted to request all of you. We must try to be honest to ourselves, try to be honest to the sources of information, and we must be honest to what we are interested to convey in our argument. Secondly, what I would like to appeal to you is that if we want to understand the present, what is happening, we must have a good, fairly good understanding of what happened in the past. Because past leads to the present. And if we want to understand what's going to happen tomorrow, we must have a fairly good, understanding of what is happening today. There is always a continuum between past, present, and the future. And once we go with this kind of a method, no amount of, high-sounding words, no amount of high-sounding theories is not going to work. We must be down to the earth, use the available informations and resources, try to be honest to ourselves, absorb as much as possible from the information that all of you will be giving, and that's the way that we will be heading towards, an alternative approach if it is possible. I would say that we expect to have some kind of an alternative idea, because you are young minds, fresh minds. For all of you, it's a time when you do not think about yourself. I know, I also passed through that stage. The age between 17 and what is the age group? This youth, 17 and 35. 32. So this is the time when people hardly think about oneself. This is the time when the youths, they think about others more. This is the time when they think about society more. It's only after this age group that they will start thinking more about themselves. But this is the time when you will be devoting more time, both intellectually, both mentally, as well as physically, to contribute more in terms of the welfare of society, the welfare about yourselves and neighbor, your friends, and so on and so forth. So this is a very crucial time, very, very precious time. And once you pass this phase, you will come at a phase when your mindset will again be changing. So I congratulate all of you for coming, for joining in this. And this is the way that we hope to get some kind of an alternative understanding, a new kind of understanding, an idea from the, so far, the non-participating youth so far, because I have not seen your representation in any kind of interactive forum in the mass media or in the, social media. Of course, I might have come across, but not in TV, discussion forum or any other, debate, seminar and a symposium. You are all very new face. We hope to listen to you, and we hope to have more ideas from you. And I give my blessings to all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and insightful address. Your words have truly enriched and guided us with clarity and vision moving into the session today. I now invite the presidential address by Professor C.H. Ibohal Singh, Dean of Student Welfare, Manipur University. under whose guidance student welfare initiatives have gained renewed focus and direction. May I request Sir to kindly take the dais.
Thank you so much. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Chief Guest of the very short inaugural program of Meet the Leader, which is one of the important programs initiated by Global Shepherds Community Imphal, which is in fact again an initiative of the World Economic Forum, Geneva, Switzerland. This program is being organized in collaboration with Office of the DSW, Manipur University, and Sri Nongkong Ambayambam, President Musu, and Nongthomo Makim Chandra Singh, Member Global Shepherds Imphal Hub, Guest of Honor, all the prominent panelists, Dr. Mayank Bambeto Singh, Director YAS Manipur, Sri Yumnam Rupachandra, Editor-in-Chief Impact TV, who is also a recipient of the Thia Meghachandra Journalist Award, Dr. Longjam Meena Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Cultural Studies, Manipur University of Culture, and Professor Jibon Kumar Sharma, MIMS, Manipur University, and our respected Professor G.P. Prasain sir, formerly Vice Chancellor of Tripura University, and all the faculty members of Manipur University, dynamic members who are actively involved in organizing this program from Global Shepherds Community Imphal, members of MUSU, and all the beloved youths and students who are present in this very important program. I won't take much of your valuable time. Few days back, some dynamic youths from Global Shepherds community came to the office of the Honorable Vice Chancellor. We met together. They wanted to have such a very important program in the university campus. Vice Chancellor, after listening to them, very happily accepted their proposal, and Honorable Vice Chancellor interested me to be a part of this program. So we are witnessing this program. We are very much proud that Global Shepherds Community Imphal has started its first series of the Meet the Leaders program. This is the first series, I hope. I am very much enlightened with what Sri Nongthombam Bankim Chandra has expressed while delivering his keynote express about the activities so far taken up by the Global Shepherds Community Imphal in the last more than 10 years. I came to learn about their activities for the first time today only. It's very quite interesting to hear those important activities taken up in the last about 1 decade. I do hope that the same organization will continue in the years to come also, similar programs, not only in the Imphal but also in different parts of the state. Friends, we are very much enlightened with our MUSU President, then Nongpong Amba Bakim Chandra, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor have spoken many things about the significance of this program, and which are very much related to youth development particularly. For me also is an honor to be a part of this very important program. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers, not the Dean Student Welfare Office, but to the Global Shepherds Community Imphal for bringing us together to discuss the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead of us. We have a very unique responsibility and roles to play as a youth of any academic institution, as a faculty member, as a working staff. And this responsibility and role have to be exercised to shape the future of our nations and different communities. We come from different diverse backgrounds, and maybe say academia or industries or any kind of institutions, but we share a very important and unique common goal to make a very positive impact to the world. We are facing a lot of complex situation today. We learned from the speech delivered by our Honorable Vice Chancellor also, particularly in the context of Manipur. There are so many issues and challenges before us which we need to tackle, we need to resolve collectively. We need to share our experiences, our ideas, many things, so that we can have collective decisions, and all these collective decisions taken in different forums need to be implemented individually also. Individual responsibility is very, very important to implement the collective decisions for the welfare of the nation, for the welfare of the community, for the welfare of the world as a whole. So in the days to come also, I do hope that Global Shapers Manipur will certainly carry out other innovative activities in the program, and that will certainly contribute to make our society, Manipur, more prosperous in the years to come. So with these few words, I don't want to take much of your valuable time because we are running out of time and we have different panelists. We wanted to listen from them. This interaction is more important. I wish this program a grand success, and in the years to come, in the days to come also, Manipur University is ready to extend what we can for the welfare of the student, for the welfare of the community, and for the welfare of the society as well. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your address, and also a reminder to everyone of the responsibility, of our responsibility in the welfare of the society and as a whole world. So now, to better understand the vision and work of the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub, we will now watch a short video presentation. May I request the team to kindly present the video.
Hello and welcome to the Global Shapers Imphal Hub's Meet the Leader event today. I want to start by extending my sincere gratitude to all the members of the panel. Thank you so much for joining us, and also to every person sitting in the audience. Thank you for joining us for this important conversation on the role of youth in today's context. My name is Murchana, and I work at the Global Shapers Community, which is hosted by the World Economic Forum in Geneva, Switzerland. And just last week, we wrapped up the annual meeting 2026, which took place in Davos under the theme, A Spirit of Dialogue. And under the same spirit of dialogue, the Imphal Hub today has convened some of the best representatives of Imphal, some of the most inspiring leaders, to talk about the role of youth in today's socioeconomic context. I thank you all for joining us, and I hope we can all start to think about how can each of us participate in intergenerational dialogue and intergenerational collaboration. And let's all think about how can we bring our own inspiring journeys to the city of Imphal. Thank you so much.
Young people believe in the promise of the future, the power that they have in the present to shape it.
Young people are the biggest part of the world population at the moment, and it just makes sense that they should be part of the conversation.
they are a lot more in touch with the current conditions in society. It's important that we begin to recognize young people as experts.
The Global Shapers community taught me the importance of using what I have been through to create initiatives for change.
Less than 3% of parliamentarians around the world are under the age of 30. We're creating youth councils, committees, and assemblies to ensure that young people's voices are included in politics and policymaking.
Young people feel the anxiety of the climate crisis. They show up in the spaces of the UN into large-scale activism because they still have hope.
We're going to see so much change environmentally. I can't sit back and just watch it happen.
When I started studying software engineering, I realized there were not so many women in my classroom. And I was like, okay, we need to fix that to create positive and sustainable change.
We have the opportunity as generation to change technology in the era of the 4th Industrial Revolution.
When people talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, the most important word is the word equity. Equity really means that you're able to design systems to address each of these things.
Investing in disabled people is very crucial. We don't want to leave anyone behind.
Accessibility isn't just technical. Getting people into sport, learn instruments, learn art, uplifts the quality of life rather than just sustains it.
Mental health is so stigmatized. I'm pushing for a more global effort to create more advocacy toolkits and information.
That's what the Global Shapers community is all about. It's a group of 10,000 young experts working hard to tackle problems that they see with their own eyes.
We can be bold and create our own solutions, not leaving the problems to others. It's ownership of young people.
There are Global Shapers hubs in cities around the world, and in this community, you can turn your ideas into concrete action.
Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub is the 450th hub in the world and has been active since September 2015. We aim to gather the best individuals from various backgrounds and walks of life around Imphal, recognizing diversity and inclusivity as our biggest asset. It was founded by Mr. Armstrong Pame, IAS.
Hi, I am Mr. Armstrong Pame. I am the founding curator of the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub. Way back in 2015, I was given this opportunity to start something for our community and give opportunity for young people from the age group of 21 to 30. This opportunity came from the World Economic Forum, whose headquarters is based at Geneva. The last 10 years or so has been a wonderful journey.
Under our Shaping Environment initiative since 2017, we have implemented projects like Tree Lion Air, the Eco Bag Initiative, and urban wall gardening, contributing to environmental sustainability. Throughout our journey, we have engaged in impactful initiatives such as Bleed with Pride, launched in collaboration with the Deputy Commissioner, Imphal East, that challenges menstrual taboos, promoting hygiene and breaking stigma among adolescents, and Shaping Eye, motivational sessions for school children. In 2023, amidst ongoing communal conflict in Manipur, we launched Multiplying Smiles, a transformative initiative aimed at supporting displaced children. Under the project, we seek to establish mini libraries at relief camps, through which we aim to transform relief camps into vibrant centers of learning and opportunity. Likewise, our community has taken up initiatives in many other areas too.
We will continue to do many more things in the days to come. I encourage the young people to continue supporting the efforts that my Global Shaper teams are putting up, and also if you are eligible, I encourage you to join me and my team in making this world a better place. Thank you and God bless everyone.
Thank you. Can we have a round of applause for the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub team? The video beautifully highlighted the vision and the motive that the Global Shapers community work with in empowering youth leadership across the world. We sincerely applaud and thank the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub for their dedication, vision, and tireless efforts in creating meaningful platforms for the youth leadership and engagement, with wishes for the entire team to continued success and the very best in all the in their future endeavors. We would like to end our inaugural session of today's program. I once again thank all the respected dignitaries on dais for your presence, your words shared, and your representation. Thank you, sir. We now move on to the heart of today's program, the panel discussion. This session will explore how young people can move from participation to representation and how young voices can meaningfully shape policy, governance, and leadership. We are here to explore some amazing insights, fresh perspectives, and real-life experiences on youth in policy making. And we are very lucky to have a group of incredibly knowledgeable and inspiring people with us today. Before we dive in, let me just quickly set the vibe of this panel discussion. This is your space to engage, ask questions, so get your curiosity caps on, and please ask away, because this is going to be interactive, fun, and very insightful session. Without further ado, let me introduce our moderator, who will be guiding today's conversation and keeping us on track. Thrilled to have Ms. Ningthojam Asharani, member Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub since 2018, and the community champion for East India, Bangladesh, and Bhutan. She is the first community champion from Northeast India. She has held several leadership roles, including curator, Vice Curator, and Impact Officer of the Global Shapers Community Imphal Hub. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Ningthojam Asharani. Now it's time to meet the stars of today's panel discussion. Our amazing panelists. We have with us our first panelist. I know we are a little bit behind time, but please bear with me because I want to do the introductions right. We have our first panelist, Dr. Mayengbam Vetu Singh, MCS, Director of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of Manipur. Dr. Mayengbam Vetu Singh is a 2014 batch Manipur Civil Service Officer and a qualified MBBS graduate, currently serving as the Director, Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of Manipur. He has held several key administrative positions, including Deputy Secretary to the Government of Manipur, Joint Director of Transport Department, and Joint Secretary, Home, contributing significantly to governance and public administration. An award-winning civil servant, Dr. Vetu Singh is the recipient of the Young Achievers Award 2020 and the Iconic Personality of the Year 2020, recognized for his administrative excellence and public service. His present work focuses on strengthening sports infrastructure, nurturing young athletes, and promoting youth empowerment across Manipur, reflecting his commitment to inclusive development and effective governance. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Mayengbam Vetu Singh. Our second panelist is Mr. Yumnam Rupachandra, Editor-in-Chief, Impact TV. An influential Editor-in-Chief of Impact TV and one of the key figures in Manipur's media, known for speaking on crucial issues like press credibility and misinformation, earning awards such as the Thia Megachandra Journalist Award in 2017, even facing threats for his work, highlighting his significant role in local journalism and public discourse. Also, he frequently participates in academic and media forums addressing critical topics like safeguarding the press and tackling misinformation. Advocating press freedom, he has spoken out about threats against journalists, including receiving death threats himself, leading to wider condemnations and supports for scribes in Manipur. His work and public statements significantly shaped conversations around media ethics, misinformations, and the challenges of journalism in Manipur, demonstrating his profound influence on the regional media landscape. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Yumnam Rupachandra Singh on dais. Our third panelist is Dr. Longja Meena Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Culture Studies, Manipur University of Culture. Being an independent filmmaker and academician and the first women filmmaker from Manipur to receive a National Film Award for her debut documentary, Auto Driver, her work focuses on cinema, gender, and social realities, particularly in conflict-affected regions. Our panelist is also the founder of Iramin Media, I hope I'm saying it right. Iramin Media to produce films and scholarly work addressing social and gender issues. Her films have been screened and recognized at several national and international platforms, including the International Film Festival of India and Film South Asia. Academically, Dr. Longja Meena holds a PhD in mass communication and serves as an assistant professor in the Department of Culture Studies at Manipur University of Culture. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Longja Meena Devi on dais. And lastly, but not the least, Dr. Jibon Kumar Sharma, Professor at Manipur Institute of Management Studies, Manipur University. He is a management academician and international relations professional with experience across industry, academia, and global engagement. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science, an MBA from Banaras Hindu University, and PhD titled FDA, A Gateway to Globalization in India, with faculty training from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Before joining the Manipur Institute of Management Studies, Manipur University in 1995, he worked with a multinational firm managing export-import logistics and port operations. His academic interests includes international business, entrepreneurship, and communications with research published in Scopus Index and UGC Care listed journals. He currently serves as the coordinator of international relations at Manipur University and is the founder member of the Boston-based Knowledge Exchange Network. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jibin Kumar Sharma on dais.
Thank you very much.
With our diverse panelists, we are here for our panel discussion. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the mic to the moderator, Ms. Ningthozam Asharani.
Thank you, Sue, for the wonderful introductions. And sorry we are running a little late, but I hope every one of you will be here till the end of today's panel discussion. And I wish each one of the respected panel member here the best for today's panel discussion. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here today for Meet the Leaders series, which is an initiative of the Global Shapers community under the World Economic Forum. So the idea of Meet the Leaders series started after whatever that has happened in Nepal recently. And the World Economic Forum reached out to Imphal Hub, being one of the most active hub in the South Asia, to kind of host Meet the Leaders series in Imphal, so that the purpose of our existence as a non-profit, as a voluntary organization, kind of play a role in having this conversation today. So I am, it's a very proud moment for me to say that Meet the Leaders series hosted by Imphal Hub is the first one of its kind in South Asia right now. And after how it turns out, we are planning to be a bi-monthly series where we will be hosting this event in different universities, different platforms, and many of the Global Shapers community across South Asia will be following our footsteps. So I'm very proud to say this as a shaper and also being a community champion. I have been part of this Global Shapers community since 2018. Currently serving as a community champion. So the role of my, as a community champion, is for me to look after the hubs in Northeast. We have 3 hubs in Northeast: Guwahati, Kohima, and Imphal being one of the most active. And then I look after the hub in Bangladesh. There are 2 hubs in Bangladesh, and Bhutan, and Kolkata. So this is also my first time moderating such a panel. So as a disclaimer, if I make any mistakes, I hope everybody will forgive me. Yeah, so in my recent ACM, so I was in Geneva last year in June, attending the annual Curator Summit. And the major discussions over there was youth in policy shaping. So too often, we came to know that there is a desert between young people, movements, and institutions. A space where energy exists but rarely translates into system change. Coming from Manipur, I have seen how young people with talent and drive are often left out of policy conversations, widening the gap between grassroots realities and institutional action. And this experience is very vivid once you enter into a global arena. Like in my experience, after attending the annual Curator Summit for the 2nd time last year, I came to know our representative, especially from Northeast, and particularly as a woman, is very low. So it took me, I would say, not me, but as a Global Shapers community in Imphal Hub, it took around 15 years, to have one representative as a community champion at the global platform, despite the immense work we have been doing. So this is why youth voices must be at the policy table, not as tokens, but as equal partners in shaping solutions. Policymakers and government must recognize the role of young people and invest in real pipelines and partnerships that connect community aspirations with systemic challenge. This is why today's Meet the Leader session matters. Our theme today is From Representation to Participation, Youth in Policy Shaping. And I'm very deeply grateful to our distinguished panelists from governance, media, academia, and culture. Taking this opportunity, let me introduce my panel. On my extreme left is Dr. Mayangbam Betu Singh, who is currently the Director of Youth Affairs and Sports. Thank you, sir, for being here today. Next is Sri Yumnam Rupachandra, Editor-in-Chief, Impact TV, and also the recipient of the Tiam Megachandra Journalist Award. Thank you, sir, for being here today. Next is Dr. Meena Longzam, Assistant Professor, Head in Charge, Department of Culture Studies, Manipur University of Culture. Thank you, ma'am, for being here today. Lastly but not the least, Dr. Jibon Kumar Sarma, Professor MIMS, Manipur University, Kanchipur. Thank you, sir, for being here today. Without being further delay, I would like to start my first questions to respected Sir Betu Singh, sir. Sir, many young people feel they are only being asked for opinions, but rarely get to shape them. How is the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports trying to move youth from being a mere participants in program to becoming a genuine partners in policy making?
Actually, in the governance, in the long journey of youth engagement by the departments and by the institutions, there has been some obsolete concept that when we govern the subjects, they were taking youth as one of the subject, and the policymakers were not able to grasp the new concept of the energy, the talent, the whatever creativity the youths are having. That's why even in the global arena as well as in the Indian policy making framework, there has been a paradigm shift in the policy framework. We are giving more focus towards involving youth as a pro-creator or the partners in the policy making. So Youth Policy 2014, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, as well as the youth policy of the state, even though decades old, we're giving focus towards empowering our youth as a partner in the policy making. But because of certain governance issues, certain ground challenges, we are not able to yet empower our youths to be part of the policy making process. But as head of the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports Department, I am tying up with my colleagues in the line departments like skill and other departments who are dealing with skilling youths and giving empowerment, employment to the youths, like planning department and all. We are trying to invite the youths for bringing of new thoughts, new innovative ideas, creativities. Those things will be incorporated in our policy making process as a compulsory mandatory step, not just to take views or comments from the youth. That's why this one in the days to come, we are planning to incorporate youth consultation as a part and parcel of the policy making process. That is how we felt. And in the recent, few years, we all might be aware of the fact that government departments are more particular in organizing youth events in the form of festivals, in the form of organizing just calendar events. But now we are giving more focus towards empowering youths, engaging youths for community service, and empowering them to be part of the governance and policy making process.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'll come back to you again. Next, sir, to Sir Rupachandra. Sir, young people are very active on social media, but often their voices don't get formal recognition. How can traditional media bridge this gap and make their views count in real decision-making process?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. As shapers, I think it's very important that you or your voice are heard and that your concerns are addressed. And as it exists now, the only way through which you can be heard or taken seriously is if you proactively engage with the media and give an output which can be worth discussing. So everything you read in the media need not necessarily end up being discussed. That we must understand. You must have heard of this dictum, garbage in, garbage out. So there are a lot of garbages, and with the change in the way we get our information, particularly after the coming of the proliferation of internet, then along with it, the so-called social media platforms, which has made it very convenient for us to have instant news. But you will have by now understood that everything that is floating on the top are not necessarily, as the VC has already underscored, the best for you. So we are living in an interesting time. We are juxtaposed in a period in a history where many things are taking place at the same time. If you are really concerned about shaping the globe, you need to understand not just the globe, but also what's happening in the ground. So Imphal Hub, global. Globe, Imphal. So it's local and the global perspective. Right now, I would say it's very important for all of us to understand what's happening to the world. One, there are so many hundred thousands, millions of videos out there. One I would recommend for you to see is by an investor called Ray Dalio. If you see, he's got 2 clips doing viral round. One is called, both are called Changing World Order. One is a small version of 4 minutes, the other one is about 45. Watch this so that you will know what is happening. And when you know what's happening, then you will feel like making an effort to reach out so that it'll make you feel that you cannot just be a bystander. You cannot just be someone who will be just watching what's happening and take opportunity to make your own career a little bit further. Now that days are gone. Because when what you do or what you say, maybe by purpose or maybe by mistake, can set a state in flame because of the social media. It has become very important for those who are going to shape the globe and the local politics, for you to understand what is garbage and what is good thing. So when you engage with social media, on social media, something must be behind your back of your mind. The continuing process of asking questions, which was also underlined. Because the moment you stop asking questions and then stop posing and understanding the answers to that question, you will become part of that problem. So if you see something on the internet, or you need to ask, is it legitimate? Is it the truth? Is it a fact? But this is not enough. You even need to understand that fact cannot be black and white. It can come to you in many ways. If you understand, if you've been following the media for some time, have you heard of the organization called Mayol? Yes. Now, Mayol has been trying to send a message that we need to involve ourselves in politics. And one of the messages that they're giving is that you should elect the right people. Now, it's very easy for us to say, elect right people. But the question is, what is right and what is wrong? When 2 candidates come in front of you, one will be promising something, another one will be promising something. Then there will be a lot of underlying factors. For example, one of them may be my relative. And what he promises may not be good for the state, good for the country, but maybe good for me. Because if he says that, if you elect me, or if your entire family elects me, I will give you a job. Now that's good for me. But that means it undermines the entire meritocracy through which we are supposed to select people. Now, to me, he may seem right and good and correct from my perspective. So, these are things which you are going to face a lot, because social media, producing something in social media has become so cheap. I have already posted, as I sit in the Facebook, this program on Impact TV Facebook. If you open Impact TV Facebook, you will already see that this program is, we are not like before, that we wait for our cameraman to go back to our studio, edit everything, then manufacture it and then bring it out. We also have to adapt the social media. So as I sit, I have already posted the news of Global Shapers Imphal Hub taking up these leaders, kicking off this leaders program. So, but when you associate this story, which has come in minutes or within few seconds of taking place, when you associate it with my brand, and when you take it into consideration that, oh, it is being posted on Impact TV, there is the question of credibility. So when I post, I have to see, if I'm a random person and if I post, I can post anything. So whatever you come across, you need to question, you need to fact check, and you need to sift the garbage from the truth, the lies from the truth, and then act accordingly. And the best way is to refer to the local media, as that's the point I'm coming to. But that said, are all local media not dealing in garbage? Some of you may be opening a national media and see all garbage is being thrown around. And also you questions, what's the difference between social media and the local mainstream media? They're all the same. Now herein comes that the purchaser's power. You as an individual, at one level, amongst you are people who are generating these media contents, and then at the same time you are also consumers. So now when you come up to an enterprise level or institutional level, what matters is who is consuming your product and what kind of product they are consuming. Now if a lot of people are consuming garbage, then the companies are willing to sell garbage. Now the question of ethics comes in. Should we promote garbage just because it pays? Because everything is about clickbait. You are more likely to, in my social media account also, you are more likely to click and see if I have a thumbnail which shows something sensational. So, as shapers, as someone who I believe you have come out into this world to shape the way globe develops, you will be the one to carry the message that it is we who drives garbage, and it is we who will be driving the quality, depending on how we choose to interact with social media and differentiate it between social media and the local media. So a real life example will be, all of you are interested if some organization calls bun, right? Now, whenever there is a bun call and that's viral in media, those people who really have a stake in the bun, like people like, I'm going to go to airport tomorrow, I really have a stake in tomorrow's bun. Then what they do usually is they call up the local media for confirmations. Is it true that there's a bun going on tomorrow? Because that's going to affect my life directly. But there are 100,000 whose lives, oh, tomorrow is bun, let's go for a picnic, let's do this. And they waste one day. So I would urge the shapers, Global or Imphal Hub, that you take the lead in the way we consume media. because there are a lot of garbages around, and you should have to teach people how to sift through the garbage and get the real stuff. And as I'm also Secretary General of the Editors Guild of Manipur, we are forever trying to bring in quality media and quality conversation. And this conversation can continue and should continue at different level. For example, Veto here can be given an entire session, me or Meena, because one session like this is not enough to let you all understand the nuances, the fall and rise of all what's happening in Manipur media. This will be for my first listing.
Sir, thank you so much. And I think it really answers the whole purpose of our community existence at a local level and also at a global level. And thank you so much for emphasizing, as a local leader here, what is the role we have to play in the coming years. So thank you so much. Next, I would like to come to Madam. I would love to address you as Che. Che is the first woman filmmaker from Manipur to receive a national award. How do you feel gender and location shape access to platform and participation in the national level?
Hello. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for giving me this wonderful platform here. I miss all the lovely youths out here. Actually, when I won the national award, I would say, like, I was not, I was not surprised, but more shocked, because I won the award maybe in 2015, 16. It's quite, post Y2K year, in the sense, it's quite, 2015 is quite internet era. A lot of things had come in, and nobody from Manipur has still made a mark in that level. So more than a surprise, it was a shock for me. And also I would see that, like Manipur has always been the forefront in terms of art, literature, sports in many ways, but getting a recognition like that really, definitely, it really helped me bring till this level, I would say. And accidentally, I would also say that I've never thought I would be a documentary filmmaker. It all happened like accidental for me, because we live in a conflict-torn region in Manipur, and every day we see crazy situations, right? So storytelling came as part of an essential way to depict our life, especially grassroots stories. So I felt, most of the data is usually what we see of working women or maybe the auto driver. It's usually everything is very data, very statistics. But when it comes to humanizing that, you need stories, you need narratives to, really impact people of what is really going on in the life of such kind of working woman, such kind of woman auto driver. I don't know how many of you have watched the documentary Auto Driver, because I have definitely screened this in many film festivals that had held in Imphal, and even screened in Department of Mass Comm or many other places. But I don't know how many of you have seen or not seen, but that's what I'm saying, that storytelling really humanizes the efforts of the narrative that you want to put across, like beyond gender, I would say. So that is one thing, and yeah, most of my stories has been really, really, I would say, grassroots so far, and have been the impulse of telling our root stories, rooted in our culture, rooted in our daily struggle. Like, this is what I have been doing in the almost a decade over, I would say. And yeah, so definitely it has been wonderful to be contributing in ways I could, but though in the beginning I felt it was more accidental, but then slowly I think I got seven into this whole process, and I've literally been synced in right now in all this process. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shay. And I think as a global shaper, as an organization working at a grassroots level with limited funding, with so many limited things in our hand, emphasizing the importance of storytelling in the work we are doing, and also to what Sir Rupachandra said, the importance of connecting our work with media. And I think this is also the conversation that is going on at a forum level. Whenever we attend events there, there is always sessions on the importance of storytelling in the work Global Shapers is doing. And I think it's a great takeaway, today, hearing that same importance of storytelling from you, Jay. Next, I would like to come to Sir Dr. Jeevan. Sir has been a pioneer with the Global Shapers community. When our community was started initially with some Armstrong Pame, he played a very instrumental role, and it's very fortunate for us to have Sir at the early stage of building this small community. Sir, many young people want to contribute more than just jobs and startup. What skills do you think Manipuri youth should focus on to move beyond participating in the economy to actually shaping policies that affect them?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Asarani. And I'm very happy that Global Shapers Imphal Hub is shaping very well since 2015. So your question, which I understand, is that what are the skills required by the youth? Yeah. So I will elaborate a little. I will not take much time. One thing that I would look forward to our youth having a particular skill is the soft skill, which is very, very important. And you will find that all the developed countries, they have the soft skill, and I will totally agree with my friend, Mr. Rupachandra, that the communication, how to communicate, and also how to communicate through the media, which is very important. And besides that, your soft skill is so important. It's not only about what you say, but it's also about how you say. Simple gestures like, when someone is talking to you and you're using your mobile phone or the eye contact or the body language, these are things I think we may go back to the past. I have been talking to your shapers also, with Mr. Nelson, or with many people. There are few things that we need to do. And I have been telling this from 2004. What I observe is that many a time we have a problem. And then I talk with many experts and many elderly people also. The main problem is the communication. So this is very well explained in Manipuri. And I was talking to many people that I don't have a better word than what is given in Manipuri, that is called Wangang Sangang. So if we have to come together as a society, the first thing is that we have to take care of the Wangang Sangang. Right. How are you, Asrani? You're looking good, great, so nice that you have given me this opportunity. You feel nice about it. But that was absolutely nothing. And if I say like that, you'll be off. See, this particular thing, the sad part is that my generation, maybe Saruprasandra's generation also, when we were young, we were taught how to talk to the elders and how to talk with their friends, how to be polite. This is very important. One is Wangang Sangang. This should be taught in the school level. The second thing is very important is Taksi Khasi, which is very well explained in Manipuri, Wangang Sangang. And one of the best saying is being said in Manipuri, and which I like very much, is Mina Sivana Chinda, Sana Sivana Kungunda. This is very important. All right. We should be very careful of what we say. And you know what? In today's time, there's nothing like delete. The word delete has vanished. Once you post something, it will go viral. So we should be very careful. That means we have to be aware about this behavior. And as Sarmila Tagorji, the actor said very rightly, behavior takes you beyond talent. So we have to be mindful of our behavior, okay? And our not only verbal communication, but the non-verbal communication, which is very important. Then again, what kind of skills that the youth need to have in today's time? Or what kind of things they need to do, in what area they should be competent. So I would like to say one thing. In today's time, you will learn it. It's not everything. New things are coming in. So you should have one thing, that is learning orientation. You should have an appetite to learn new things. You should have an inquisitive mind. And you should ask questions. Very rightly, my friend said. Many things, I think you have said many things, which I keep repeating. Right. You should be inquisitive and you should ask questions. You should have an inquisitive mind. So number one is your learning orientation. And we also have one advantage being in the northeastern region. I'll give you one analogy. Who is the best person in the world? The best person is the most brilliant and very ethical. Who is the worst? The most brilliant, unethical. Just imagine, brilliant remains the constant, but the dimension of ethics change. So it's very important to be ethical. And we in the Northeast, I believe, are being perceived as more natural, unspoiled, less cosmopolitan, innocent. So people think of us as ethical. And we should inculcate this ethical dimension. And this ethics, the next big thing may not be artificial intelligence. The next big thing may be ethics. Right? So that is very important. And then the third thing, which I love very much, and which we have an advantage, is that we should take care of our health. One is your physical health, because God has given two things. For the youth also, I'm telling you that these are the two most valuable things that you have, and they are being given to you for free. So out of 24 hours, you should at least devote 1 hour for that. And my students must be knowing what is that. One is your mind, the other one is your body. Out of 24 hours, you should spend at least 1 hour developing that. And this is the best way to fight drugs. This I have been doing for a long time, because if you start doing workout, you have a tendency to eat or have more nutritious food like vegetables and all that. When you start putting on 8, you think about all the butter, all that, okay, junk foods, So 3 things, please remember. One is your learning orientation. The other one is learning orientation, be ethical, all right? And also, please take care of your health, mental health, and of course, your spiritual health. And also, lastly, of course, I mentioned that, which is very important, which in every school and in every institution, which should be taught is, this taksi khasi and, wangang sangang. I really believe that this should be monetize, we said, entrepreneurship. This should be given in the form of marks or something like that. Because what the society needs is good people to be occupying good position in the society. The society will be more safe when these good people start, managing the society. So that should be grounded in the education system. And also for our education system, the most important thing is that when the students come to the class, when the teachers teach them in the class, right, Manipur's education system will be one of the best in India. I will tell you that will be in the top 10. And we also have an advantage. We as a Manipuri, because I don't know whether I will get a time or not, but let me mention, because of the time, we have certain advantages. Because I handle international relations, and also many foreign students happily live here. I'm surprised many people apply. When I talk to them, why? We have one advantage. We are very welcoming in nature, right? And we don't discriminate, right? This is one thing. And I had been studying in nooks and corner of India during school time. I studied in local schools also. Those days, local schools were fantastic, all right? Very good. I studied in Delhi also, and I thought, oh, my local school was as good as this school, one of the best in Delhi, Madras International School. I studied there, but they were as good as local schools there. Okay, so this is so this is very important, and also we have this adaptability skill. We have this adaptability skill. You are anywhere. You are in Africa. You can mingle with the Africans very easily. I have seen this with our people. Anywhere, Middle East, they are there. So I'm very hopeful that, what I'm telling you from the core of my heart, given an opportunity, our youths do well. And you see the many kind of restaurants, your Vietnamese restaurant, Thai restaurant coming up. I have been there, and they are actually as good as what you see outside. So it's a matter of opportunity. One fine day I was thinking that whether we'll be able to come up or not, I think we can do better. So that I'm very hopeful. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and hopefully you may be back.
Thank you so much, sir. So I think my key takeaway from your point is that it doesn't really matter where we are, where we study, but it's all also about the mindset we carry as the youth, and the importance of being the value system. And I really reckoned with the idea of being ethical in whatever we do, and I think this is something which, as a global shaper also, we have been trying to do in every work we do, no matter the scale of the work we do, but we always try to have that value system and to be very ethical at the end of the day. Thank you so much, sir. Now coming back to Sir Veto, like you said, sir, the department and also with the National Youth Policy, there are so many initiatives that has been taken up, and not just mere activities, but more on a youth consultation platform. So do you feel that there is a trust deficit between youths and governance administration in our local context? From your administrative perspective, what more can be done to build trust and create sustained meaningful engagement with youth beyond one-time consultations or events?
Thank you. Actually, I'm part of Youth Affairs department, but I'm also handling one particular department where Thamma Rupachandra has rightly elaborated regarding social media and all. So I am the one who was dealing with internet shutdown in the state. I'm the one who signed about that. So now coming to the crux of the discussion. When we are talking about values, when we are talking about ethics, when we are talking about moral, it will be only meaningful only when you know the practicality of the knowledge you are having, or the practicality of whatever you are having. Say for example, in my school days, we had moral education classes. But most of us got 90%, 100% mark in these classes. Say, once you go back, now look there. This is what trust deficit is because of that. We're talking about values, we're talking about so many things. First, if we want to live up, we should have a proper foundation. That foundation we are lacking still. That's why in order to incorporate our youths in the policy making process, first and foremost thing is that we should make the young talents, young minds, that is ready for that process. So if your minds are raw, your actions are not in tune with your knowledge, then how come your this one half-matured knowledge will be helpful in policy making? So, responsible use of social media, what Tamo has focused. See, many of us might be giving importance to freedom of speech. So, whether you really take care about the freedom of speech, freedom of this one, right to dignified life, right to this one, privacy of somebody else, when you exercise your freedom of speech, we are not taking care of that part. We are talking about moral values. But we are not putting into action what is the point of having that value education in your class. So, how many of you do really put whatever moral values you are having, whatever moral education you are having into action? Say 50%. How many of you can assure that you are always trying to put your moral, whatever knowledge you are having in terms of moral values into action? This is what we call self-actualization or self-management. Those who achieve in their particular field, they are self-managed and self-actualized people. Maybe that may not have impact on the surrounding or the environment. But those who achieve, those who pioneer in a particular field, they are self-managed in their own way. So, little bit expanding to our inner self, we should also think about the society. That is what previous speakers has pointed out. So, government assess when we are framing any policy or when we are taking up any initiative for the cause of youth or for the cause of any common man. We are always looking towards those who are having the first-hand knowledge about that. Only thing is, if they are fit to be part of that consultative exercise, we always welcome them. But if they are not fit to be there, they might be complaining so many things, they might be talking about so many things. But if they are not proper to be incorporated there, then they will be sidelined only. So all these things comes up because of all those trust deficit. Why? Because our people, we are especially going through a very transition state. Say when we are looking towards West, they are already developed country centuries back. When we are trying to cope up with those habits that we are cherishing, they are already coming back to our primitive values. We are talking of so many hi-fi things, but they are coming back to our primitive value education, so that their chaos, their societal chaos can be managed. We are overlooking our values. We are overlooking our traditional values. They are coming back to that one, and now we are trying to imitate them. So even in the global forum, whenever there is a discussion, when we are talking about our values, we are talking about our own self. That time we always have the pride feeling or something to say to the rest of the world. But we are forgetting that one. That is how we want to teach, we want to empower our youths to know ourselves, to introspect ourselves, to self-reflect ourselves about whatever potential we are having, or whatever energy we are having, or whatever values we are having. Then and then only your real issues, your real problem will be perceived by the government, and you will be invited for that process only. So, responsible use of social media. Here I want to give a little bit focus because you can be the agent of change. Say at this particular time of crisis in the state. Now if somebody puts up some provocative post, then everyone is following that post and making so many negative comments. If that is of some positive criticism that could help in solving the issue, then the role that is being played by our youths who are IT savvy, that will be what commendable. But now 90% of us, what we are doing is we are only following those disinformation, what we usually term as disinformation, that the information which is not actually true, but it has been designed in such a way that it is seemingly very true, and it has a larger implication on the society also. If that disinformation keeps on spreading to the whole community, it sometimes gives a spark to the current crisis also. Similar situation. So the need of the hour is that our youth should be properly empowered, properly mentored, so that they use social media responsibly. Then you can become an agent of change. So for example, if I am in my capacity, I am also taking part in the policy making process. So for example, at the time of adversity, how we handle the situation. In that time, we are putting our comments in the not sheet filing process. If that is being properly put off to the higher authority, that will be converted into action. That is what we perceive as a policy. If you as a youth, as a potential youth, learn it, having lots of creativity, if you can put some of your that creative mind into a very presentable and a positive criticism, then that can be perceived by the policy makers. Then you become an agent of change. You are very much part of that policy making process. So what we are giving more focus is that our youth should be proactive in bringing changes, not by giving inputs, but you yourself to be involved in that change process. That is what we are looking for. But unfortunately, like I said, we are in a very much transition phase. We are not ready enough to even cope up with the change that we are bringing in. That is the real issue. But somehow, Government of India, Government of Manipur has been trying and making so many efforts and initiative to empower our youth through skill education, like through Digital India, through startup, through Skill India and all. So my humble suggestion is that when we are looking towards that high-end result, first thing is that we have to have a stepping foundation to live up to that height. So when we are talking about value education, when we are talking about ethical values, moral values, that will come only when you yourself become a changed person. So responsible way of doing things, responsible way of perceiving things, responsible way of behaving yourself with others, interpersonal skill, and all these things are all correlated. All those value, all those desired outcome that you are aspiring for will come only when you yourself become a self-managed person. But we are always right conscious, but we are not giving importance to our duties and responsibilities and all this one. So this is the key area where we want to give more focus. So at any point of time, for the government level, at the government level, government is very much ready to accept, ready to incorporate our young minds, young talents in the administration, in the policy making process. So even we are taking off this time in the National Youth Day, we are taking up so many challenges under Viksit Bharat Challenge program, under around some 18 to 24 thematic areas, where our youths are being encouraged to deliberate on their own issues, their own vision, their own perspectives, so that we'll give inputs to the policy makers towards bringing Viksit Bharat by 2047. So under Yuva Connect Viksit Bharat also, government is trying to build a platform where all the youths across the country can be connected. So all the youths between the age of 15 to 29 years of age, that roughly accounts for more than 50% of our population. So we are planning to connect all the youths across the country to make such a vibrant, seamless platform where our youths can share their talents, share their experience, best practices that can be reproduced or adopted in our society. So the role that is being played by our youth institution, that is NYKs, now My Bharat, our state youth centers. We are having around 181 youth centers across the country, across the state. One youth center caters around some 4-5 local youth welfare clubs. But how it has been functioning, that nobody cares. As a responsible youth in my locality, I should have knowledge about the youth center that we are having, where government is giving facility. But nobody is taking care of that. Nobody is, reaping the fruit of the effort that is being put in by the government. Say we are giving incentives to the youth centers for subscribing newspaper, journals. We are giving incentives to the caretaker to do a lot of awareness activities. But none of the state centers are active as of now. That is one thing. Another thing is we have so many NSS cells. NSS cell in MU is very active. We are very grateful and thankful to the coordinators. Likewise, we are also having NSS units in the high school and higher secondary schools. So altogether, we are having more than around 150 plus NSS units in the state. We are leveraging the services of all these youth institutions to organize youth events, youth awareness program, and even see our youths have been spearheading in the Nasa Mukh Bharat campaign, this one TB Mukh Bharat campaign, and even we have this one back awards at the national level also. But the only thing is that we are not aware of our youth institution, we are not aware of the youth initiatives, but still our youth clubs, our youth institutions are doing well in their areas, like say environment awareness campaign, Nasa Mukh Bharat, and many more areas, like say youth parliament, debates, and all these things. These are normal things, but very important to be very much importance to be given to them, because we need to first make our youths to be ready for being a receptacle to accept all those new concepts, new ideas, new theories, new concepts, to be ready to be policy makers in future. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for highlighting and also underscoring the importance of youth taking a backseat and more focus on the awareness of various initiatives that the government is doing for the youth. and also the importance of us to be being empowered before we enter into the space of policy making or policy shaping. Next, I would like to come to Sir Rupachandra. Sir, like Sir Veto also mentioned, in a context like Manipur, and also I think this is a global phenomena right now where misinformation and disinformation spreads quickly and narratives can get distorted within a second. How can responsible journalism ensure that young people concern reach policymakers clearly and without being twisted?
Actually, responsible journalists are suffering a lot now because a lot of people like irresponsible journalists or who pretend to be journalists. Now, how we shape, like I said before, would all depend on changing from the grassroots. Okay. Now, Ajay Jibon has brought in two very important aspects to this discussion. And to that, Meena has also brought in one very beautiful, and I'm going to link all this together. And because if I continue to go down this road, we'll never end, and I've got a wedding to go to. So I'm just going to shortcut it and hope that you follow what I'm going to say. Read some books. And when I say read some books, not just random books. Now AI will help you choose good books also. Few good books that I have read, and it made me think deeper into a lot of issues. One is the history of mankind, you know. Beautifully put by Yuval Harari, who is a Jewish professor, historian, sapien. He will tell you about how stories shape all our conversation. Everything is about how we tell our story. And it's in how, like Ajay Jibon said, how you tell your story. You come late to a class, for the professor to forgive you, you have to tell a very compelling story, right? Sir, I was coming out from my room and then suddenly this cat jumped into my way and then I fall over the cat, then another dog bit me, and you have to give a very compelling story. So I say, okay, you go and sit there. Okay. Now for Meena to win this prize, she has to tell a very compelling story, which when you hear or when you see or when you listen, it'll absorb you. So everything depends, your life depends. Whether you are appearing for pre-PhD interview or whether you are appearing for a job, it's how you tell your story with what Ajay Jibon said, with that in background. Thaksi, khasi, naina. And with that emotion and truth. Only then when you, and you know how powerful stories is? When you read this Yuval Harari, you will know. The religion, Coca-Cola, everything is about stories. It's a story on which we choose to believe, and that made me adopt. Then there are stories that we reject. And all this will come from your training of how to take a good story and how to reject a bad story. Now, even in the stories, moral science we are talking about, I bet every one of you have mobile. And it may have been, you are the one to make the choice to buy that mobile, whatever model that you have, right? It is your choice. Was it, or was it someone else's choice? Maybe there may be a lot of recommendations. But before you finally put the good money, you will have done a lot of checks and fact checks. You do a lot of fact checks. right? Before you buy your mobiles, one of your most important possession now. Now, why don't you do the similar kind of fact check when you receive an information? Huh? When you receive information, why don't you do a back check? And now, as shapers, I'm not talking about people who don't want to be involved in anything. I just want to live my life the way I want. I'll eat the way I want. I'll sleep the way I want. I'm not interested in them. I'm interested in you guys who have come out and said, I am a shaper. I'm a shaper. You make shapes. You change perspectives. For you, it goes beyond buying a good mobile. For you, it becomes imperative that you spread the word that this is a good mobile, and when you buy it, you're going to get good value for money. Don't buy that expensive. How many years does it last? Why do we have to buy Apple 17 when the same thing can be done by this? So, similarly, you have to put this narrative around your society, around your locality. For example, Vito has been talking about a lot of these schemes that the government, no one is aware of it. You will have to be that agent of change. Nasa Mukt Bharat. Forget Bharat. Let us say Nasa Mukt Laikai. Aigi Laikai the Nasa Mukt Wahi Targadi, that automatically becomes. So do I the vendors in my locality, all the while I shout Nasa Muk in rally? It doesn't work that way. You have to be involved at local level. And what the media does, how we work, how all our reputation is built, is of the sweats, the works that we did on the ground to bring a story. Now what is happening? We get one story, we get one picture, we make a story out of it. So the credibility thing that we are talking about. In our days, Bom Pokhai Kanda, when everyone is running away from the spot, there are two different people who are running towards that. And one of them happens to be the press. Why? Because we don't want to sit in my room and then call up the SP. We want to go to the spot, see who's injured. I was there in my young days when there was a bomb blast in New Chekon. Nupimcha Anikhak badminton sanaba halakpa brighter school gi sokpado. If you remember, there was a row of teak in front of Sanjantong veterinary opposite. When the bomb went off, I was in my motorcycle in just front of my this thing in Raj Bhavan ki turning door. When the bomb went off, I took my camera from my office, which is nearby in Pauna Bazaar, ran, and when we were running in, the police, and behind every teak, there was a policeman. They were shooting. They were shooting in the fire, and we could still hear the gun fire from that side. And they were saying, don't go, don't go. And we used to show our camera, press, and to us it was like as if I have a press card, the bullet will come like this and go like this. So we rushed in, and we were the first, me and Hemanta Ningomba was the first to reach that spot where these two girls were lying. And they were all, because it was the RDX bomb, they were all burned. And one of them was shouting, water, water, water. One was near drain. But we couldn't give her any water because we were not there. Later on, there was some controversy about pressmen not giving water, and that is different. Because we could not touch them, because some rudimentary training, like for example, if you see a burned people, when you touch, it may pass on the infection. So those are there. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that there was a time when reporters went to the ground, collect news from there as it is and bring it to you. The trust was there. Now that trust has been also a little bit eroded because of the way we also continue to take advantage of the social media. Because now, for most part of our content, our first informant happens to be the social media. So we are trying to also retrain our people to say, okay, fine, it is good for us that we are getting the report as soon as it's happening, but let us not stop at what everyone is saying, but go beyond that. So for the media, we need to go beyond the FIRs, which is first information report, which may not be the total report. So for us, it's imperative that we go beyond the FIRs. And for you as a SEPA, you have to go beyond listening and, like he says, fighting for your right only. So there are so much that we can discuss. But I will end because this time is not much there also. And today there are a lot of weddings and I also have to rush for a wedding. I'll just ask you all to read this Sapien. And there's another book called by Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers. Have any one of you read Outliers? It's about how, see, whatever we do, we have to do it successfully. If you want to do something, if you don't know how to do it successfully, then the idea that I want to become IS and I want to become MBBS being stuck in your mind and never being achieving doesn't serve any purpose. So in Outliers, you'll find about 10,000 hours of everything that you do to become, for example, for Bill Gates to be where he is, he had spent 10,000 hours on keyboard. For Tiger Woods to be shooting hole in a one, he has to be hitting the golf ball for 10,000 hours. But that notwithstanding, it doesn't guarantee your success. You also have to have a system in place that allows your merit to come out. So you study hard, someone gets few lakhs and bypasses, that is also a reality, right? We have to fight that also. That is also on the plate for the shapers. We need to fight corruption. We need to fight misinformation. We need to fight the social chaos in the society. And you cannot just be learning about it, knowing about it, to be speaking in a forum. You need to be practicing it. So, whenever, if any of you are seeking a government job, whenever someone starts talking in your family about how much money should we give for my daughter, you should be the first person to no money for me. We have to start with us. Professor, I'm long to ay mung da su ngang na ba hore ba handak di chan pi yaw dia patte yaw dia pote na kamai yaw dia roi doi no nang na phatraga so we need to start saying that no, but it starts from the way parents make their student pass. Oji classroom dengo parikha ek toraka mama mapa na saida ethics parent ki lakdo ethics to macha parikha pass ho note pisel la pass ho laga, where can ethics will come, right? So Mina's next subject, next documentary on parents. Tell a good strong story so that every parent will start saying, oh, idea mama padi winning there. That strong story will give them away. I'll pass on the mic to her.
Sir, thank you so much. I think for clearly highlighting the difference between a responsible journalism or a journalist and social media, and also for emphasizing what role we as the shapers can play. And I think this should be, for all of the shapers community, I think we really need to step back, take a back seat and question ourselves the whole purpose of our existence in this community. So next, Jay, a very quick one. Your documentary Auto Driver brings an everyday working woman story into national focus. So what do you think, like how can grassroots storytelling like this movie beyond representation and actually influence better governance?
That's a really lovely questions, and I would say, all the documentaries I've made so far, the major documentaries, I would say Auto Driver. The second one, Achaubi in Love. Auto Driver is about working women driving auto in the backdrop of conflict in Imphal. And then the second one, which is Achaubi in Love, it's about a pony farmer raising ponies in Kairak. And then the third one, Andro Dreams, which is my most recent one, I would say. I would say it has got very wide recognition and screening, and a lot of people resonate with it. It got screened in Iran, it got screened in Seoul, it got screened in Egypt. So a lot of people, international communities, especially even Arab countries, got resonated with this kind of story. So I would say, definitely, like, I think when Soweto was talking about the governance and the whole policy and schemes, I think sensitization is what we're lacking in our community, in our society, right? That awareness and sensitization is what we are lacking in here. Like, I mean, I might have been, I being an educated woman myself might have skipped so many beneficial schemes or awareness program myself, I would say, despite being an educated woman, I would say. But imagine for those who have not studied or entered college or entered school, who will tell them what their benefits are, So it is very important. I get goosebumps because I feel very sorry for those population, people who died unaware of many benefits. Everything they think everything has to be purchased, everything has to be, I don't know, if it was Kolkata, if it was other cities, people will make hue and cry about anything. Here, we hardly complain. We don't complain anything. We are so used to all the crazy things that's happening, that's even infringing life threats in all, we are living in such a place where everyday commuting is sometimes it's so dangerous. We're living in a very unpredictable, situation right now. Despite all this, we fail to ask ourselves, or we fail to ponder that, what do we do to protect ourselves? As these are the basic human rights, right to life itself. If we don't have right to life itself, I mean, all the other rights, that you get along with right to life, I mean, it's just nothing, right? So, I mean, those are really essential, I feel, and stories like what I have been telling through my documentary, I feel that if I get a platform in, if I get to screen this to all the member of parliaments, or if I get this to screen to all the ministries or people, if I get a platform and I screen my documentaries and try to make them understand that the kind of narrative that I'm putting forward about a working woman auto driver, her plight of, do she break stereotype of becoming the woman auto driver in Manipur, but the kind of plight she faces in place like Manipur, and then Achaubi, the pony farmer who's facing plight of not having a sanctuary for her ponies, or Andro Dreams about these grassroots footballers who still, who have given 150 national and international football players, but bloody they don't even have a vehicle, bus to transport this, sports children till now, I would say. And I would really request Soweto to look into it. This is a right platform for me to put in that way, and please look into it, because how much I will do as an individual myself, because I'm also a parent, an academician, a documentary filmmaker, but I have done in ways I could do for this grassroots football club in Andro, and this woman will not complain. We are so... Shapers can take this up. This woman will not complain, but Better India... through my documentary, people have recognized this story. Better India have been doing amazing, viral stories, putting Liby's photos and her stories, and many, journalists have covered this, but so far, I'm still, trying to find a way to sustain her football club in Manipur, because she is so precious in a place like Manipur. Where we, day and night, when we get hit by conflict, but still somebody's there fending, moving on, taking care of so many children. So I think this is very important for all of us, that we have the spirit to move on. I know we have this resilience in us, but how long do we have to be, keep suffering ourselves? Yesterday I was just like coming across Arundhati Roy's speech, where she says that, yes, even to be joyful in a conflict state is like, resistance. I'm smiling and laughing, dressing up. This is also resistance in terms of, a conflict, 3.5 years conflict plays in place like Manipur. So I think there's a lot of things that we can do as a human, and I'm really proud that Global Shapers as a young mind is coming up with this amazing platform forum for youths, for us to ponder and think. So I'm really glad, and I associate with Global Shapers since its initiation, its interception, its start, inception. So and it's such an honor to be amidst very well-spoken, eminent personalities out here, because I'm a very quiet person usually. I don't really come on forum and talk so much. I usually believe in doing more, so I hardly speak. But since it is Global Shapers, and since it was something about with my stories, documentaries, grassroots, I was more than happy to be here. So I would say, yeah, we need to dive into the ministries as well, so that, they take it, all the narrative, the kind of narrative that I'm telling, that they consider and, they put it in their policies. I think that would be apt, I think. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jay. Sir, last question would be to you, and it will be, I think, the last one, wrapping up everything, the discussions we had today. So I think the discussions today revolve more on misinformation, disinformation, the gap that we are having, the trust deficit, and what Sir Veto highlighted, the trust deficit that we have within ourselves. Forget about the trust deficit that the youth have with the government. And also the lack of awareness, the importance of sensitization. Now, sir, you being a professional who have worked across academia, industries, and also government, I would say, I think there is a huge missing piece right now. There is a gap which I think we all should acknowledge. So how do you think we should strengthen this gap to help youth play a more important role in the overall policy space or, say, decision making?
Thank you, Asrani. Wow, that's a very nice as well as very challenging question. I'll try my best. One thing, in what area the youth should focus on? This is one thing which I thought long back when I worked in the organization, in the company. So this company lasts for a long time. It started in 1926. So how could this company sustain? Okay, there was a time we talk about sustainability. So that means one of the aspects that we need to work on is sustainability. Will you be able to sustain this sustainability aspect in any area? Whether it is work, organization, program, anything that we do, it came in the nowadays people are talking about persistency. Nowadays you'll hear a lot about discipline. So that is why, say you are organizing this program, it should sustain, sustainability. So this is very good news for the youth. I mentioned this word, sustainability. That is sustainable development without compromising the prospects for the future generation. Development without compromising the prospects for future generations. But there are three pillars. One is, of course, the economic side. Of course, there, entrepreneurship plays a very important role. Okay? And of course, in Manipur, what we see is that we need good role models. We have a tendency to replicate what others are doing. Say, for example, Meena, my sister, if she is into movies, others will try to follow. My friend Rupachandra and my friend Dr. Vito, though we meet for the first time here, so they must have influenced many people to work, to strive for MCAs, to be in the media and all that. So we need role models, okay, so that people look up to them. So we have this entrepreneurial wave. Besides that, education also has to play a big role because we have to produce employable people. But for that, again, I'm telling you, right? When the students come to the class, when the teachers teaches them, no one will stop Manipur. We'll be one of the best in India, okay? Now why, I'm telling you. Youth have energy. When they are not in the class, what happens is that they will have many things, you know. They will suffer because, you know, they have to engage in productive activities. But they may be thinking about something negative about themselves and all that. So many things happen, okay? So we have a role to play there. Education is very important. Of course, that is economy. But sometimes you might see that economic prosperity sometimes takes off very fast. I was talking about how Korea developed. In 1980s, it was not as developed. Okay, I saw that in 1980s, 1990s, you know, Korean per capita might be around 8,000-9,000 like that, my guess. Now it is quite developed, 40,000 maybe. There might be that per capita. It's quite high now. So that is the economic one. But there are two more aspects. That is the social side, and the other one is the environmental side. And doing these things may not be difficult. We have to specifically do something. Say for example, you're talking about the environment. We just have to follow what our elders have told. See, we had this pukri culture. Every household used to have a pukri. And if you fill up the pukri, they used to warn that someone will die. That's what I heard. But many pukris are being filled up, right? So we must have lost a big water body, as big as a big lake. And we say there is Umang Lai. Umang Lai means what? There's a god that guards the jungle, right? Why I use the word jungle? Forest, mostly we think about trees. Jungle, life is also there. The animals are also there, all right? So we had this thing. And we used to worship the trees. And elder generation people, they had already told, you have to be polite, taksi kasi, wangang sangang, all this thing. Now, what is very important is to conserve the environment, okay? If there is a tipping point, like climate change and all that, it's very much related with the environment. We have to take action. Say, for example, if we collectively do something, it is doable, easy. If all of us agree, we'll not throw things on the road. We'll collect it and keep it in the dustbin. It's so easy. But all of us can do that. And then I tell you that, you know, if Manipur has to develop, okay, we have to follow the footstep of what our elder generation said, Wangang Sangang. If we have this good Wangang Sangang, everyone will come together. 10 persons will be together, they will be discussing about things. Why 2-3 persons cannot talk in a proper forum? Because, right, because of the way, because sometimes you are going to respond in a sarcastic manner, and at the time you will exhibit the behavior of being indifferent, or I'm not listening to you. Why should I listen to you? I'm knowledgeable. Like that, you know. So this behavioral side, you know, this is very, very important for economic development as well as social development. Because sustainable development, you have 3 pillars. One is the economic development, for which education plays a very important role. Understanding the environment also plays a very important role. And the second one is a social. We have to have the values, you know, like listening to each other, like when someone is not happy, talking to that person, spending some time. Like I have been telling all my students, you know, we have volunteers. Our role is to clean washrooms, right? I said that you take the money from me, like Strela is there. She's also a volunteer for the girls, for the boys. What is the reason? The reason is that when you clean washrooms, you will. My father told me one thing. I took a second day. That struck me, Took a second about self-life, because the lifespan will be more than 80 or 90. One fine day, your parents may be bedridden. Who will take care of them? If you say Tukatsakali and all this, right? So that is why this is also a kind of a learning to empower them to take care of their elderly people, because we are going to survive for 100 years. If anything happens, medical teams are there to cure us, but we may be bedridden. Who will take care of us, all right? So this is a kind of a learning, and also taking care of the chairs, arranging. These are all social values that can be done, and it's doable. It can be done now. And also the environmental aspect. When you want to see whether life is there in another planet, what do you see? The first thing is that you try to detect whether there is water or not. So our elder generation had taken care that we should not fill up the ponds. We have to protect our water bodies. And in Thailand, you'll find that the king had created many, many water bodies. He studied the cloud formations. And accordingly, he created water bodies so that the cloud would convert into rain. Water is so precious, and we have abundant amount of water. Okay, this small aspect, and you have to tell. I said this to our friends in the hilly regions, mountainous regions. If you cut down the trees, what happens is that the mountains become mud. When the rain falls on them, it's not a mountain anymore. The trees make the mountain. Without the trees, it's a pile of mud, and there will be surely landslide. It's life-threatening. So that is why in education, my friend Dr. Vito also said very rightly, it has to be practice, right? People, we have to practice, we have to sow. Like, people don't follow what you say, but people follow what you act, right? Even the parents, the children don't follow what you say, but they will follow what you act. So it is a beautiful time, and for me at least, just like homecoming, and very nice to see you again, that, Global Shapers, keep continuing the good work, and this is a very good activity, like people, and I'm very happy that, all the students and all the faculty members and the shapers, they're listening, actively. Development is nothing but showing up. That's why, lastly, I would like to tell you that in Manipur, there's a thing which is more dangerous than cancer. What is that? Procrastination, being on time, right? Because in my lifetime, I have studied so many organizations. I am yet to find an organization that is doing well by not following time. Okay? So we have to don't waste time, be on time. Okay? Let's try to be on time. I really appreciate you. You are contacting all the panelists and everyone like to be here on time. I can see the energy. All right? And any place also, Manipur has to be on time. Korea is on time. Japan is on time. Right? Very much on time. Any place, any organization, start practicing being on time. Then automatically you will start develop. And development is not that difficult. We just have to do it. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think Sir Veto wants...
Just an announcement, in a way. We are trying to encourage two young men who have just started this thing called plogging. You jog and then you pick up. So if shapers are interested, you can contact them. Impact TV is also trying to support them, and I'm trying to get other organizations also, so that you jog and also you pick up those things, that plogging. You must have seen it in this thing. So shapers can...
I think Sir Veto wants to add something. Yeah.
For me, being in the government, I cannot criticize much on a topic, and I was answering the questions, and I could not go to that much depth. But to sum up, as a part of the government, what we are taking up, that I just want to sum up, that is that we are moving towards positive youth development, that dictum, that is 5 C's, that principle of 5 C's, 5 cardinal C's. One is, first is, we need to make our youths first confident in whatever profession, whatever activities they are taking up. We need to make them confident. And next is, we need to make them competent. To make them confident and competent, government has taken up certain initiatives like Startup India, say Startup Manipur, Skill India, Skill Manipur, all those things are being taken up to make them feel confident in whatever profession they are taking up. And your capacity, your competency may not be up to the one that your friends, your idol may be having. But still, you can take up whatever profession you want, whatever area where you want to work for the betterment of the society. See, in India, we have so many icons who become role model, who become pioneer in a particular field. Only when they started adopting, they started, encompassing one single issues in the day-to-day life. For example, Ola, Uber. They just give importance to a particular difficult situation, what they have faced in their life. Say, washing powder Nirma. He was giving focus to any small particular piece of problem that their locality was facing, his own family was facing. Being a laboratory technician, he started his journey as a salesman, and then washing powder Nirma ka company khol diya. These are some of the few stories that I want to highlight. But first and foremost thing is that we need to make our youths confident and competent in whatever profession and whatever activities they are taking up. Third C is the character building that I was giving focus when we were talking about responsible use of social media and all. And the next is making connection. Say, networking. Say, we are trying to shift our youth from, participation to representation. We need to make it connect, that a link should be created, that government is trying to create. That's why lots of platforms are being created to invite your thoughts, to invite your creativity, to invite your insights. The last C is the positive contribution that we expect from the youths. These are 5 cardinal C's that we are giving importance to make our youths partners in policy making process. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much. Just to wrap up today's panel discussion, so my greatest learning from today's discussion is that it is often being said, and this has been discussed in various platforms, saying that the future of our generations cannot be designed for young people, but it must be designed with them. But also after having a discussions with my 4 distinguished panel member, what really reckons me is the importance of doing, starting things small, the importance of being a responsible person in this age of social media, and also like how Sir Jibon mentioned, in everything we do, how we should try to be sustainable. And I just want to relate this with one of the activity we started for Global Shapers in 2023 when conflict started. As you all know, the Shapers and Global Shapers community, we work in different professionals' background. It's just that we come together for a common cause on weekends, and then we donated funds from our own pocket, and we try to work for a cause. So now when the conflict started, all our existing projects were to be put on hold because we cannot move from one place to another to do the projects. But then why we are here if we are not doing anything at a very disturbing and a very important time like that. And that's how the whole idea of Multiplying Smiles mini library initiatives began. It started with a very small idea ki we, as a shaper, we will go to relief camps and we will engage with the kids there through artwork, craft sessions, etc. Now, after multiple visits, we came to know that the children in the relief camp, they don't have something called safe space for them. They are exposed only to academic books. Beyond that, they don't have a proper learning space. Now we have some funds for Global Shapers, and then we started building libraries in one of the relief camp. The first was the Sajiwa relief camp. We never imagined that small projects which we started, will translate into so many impact that we were the first cohort to win the innovation grant. We were able to win a grant of 5,000 USD from World Economic Forum. And I think that was the whole purpose, that makes our project sustainable, and we are currently implementing across 3 relief camps. So I really love the idea of how Sir Jibon said, now in an age of AI development, social media, how we should always go to our roots, and come to the point of even conserving our rivers, our ponds, and to make things sustainable. So thank you so much, sir, but I'm so sorry I will not be able to open the floor for Q&A because Sir Rupachandra has to take his leave. And I promise all of you, on behalf of the Global Shapers community, we will make this Meet the Leaders session a very sustainable one. And please tune in to all our social handles for our second episode. Thank you so much, sir.
I hope that was a very insightful discussion. Just 2 minutes, everyone. Just please settle down for 2 minutes. We're almost done. As a token of appreciation and respect, the team would like to felicitate the panel members on dais. I request Ms. Ningthauja Masharani to please do the honors. Felicitation of Dr. Mayeng Bomveto Singh, MCS, and Director of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of Manipur. Felicitation of Mr. Yumnam Rupachandra, Editor-in-Chief, Impact TV. Felicitation of Dr. Longja Meena Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Culture Studies, Manipur University of Culture. And lastly but not the least, felicitation of Dr. Jibon Kumar Sharma, Professor, MIMS, Manipur University. Once again, a big round of applause for our wonderful panel members and for the discussion that has been meaningful and impactful.
Congratulations. Well done.
Sir, refreshment.
Happy attending the various.